We will not copyright or trademark that. We do not have the rights to this at all. Please do not sue us. Thank you.
Welcome to These Unprecedented Gays, featuring Joe Granelli and Paul Smith. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, and review wherever you stream your podcasts. Check us out on Instagram at tugayspod and email us at tugayspod@yahoo.com. We hope you enjoy.
Do the little like...
Yeah, he will move his paws sometimes.
Yeah,
this time he was a little bit more just like
What do you see?
barking.
What's out there?
Yeah, it's more like his nose twitches and then he starts to do his little bark.
Yep.
Underneath it, without opening up his mouth. So it's like...
Yeah. And then it goes... like... Oh.
Yes, like, what's all these noises? These are noises I make.
That's what... it's like, you know, not people, but like when cartoon characters snore and it's like... Huh...
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
And the cheeks flap. That's what, because Max will do that sometimes, and like his little cheeks will flap. It's adorable.
He make them cheeks flap. Okay.
Salute. You got two?
I don't.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
one and done sneezer.
No. And then, like lately, I've been at work when somebody sneezes. I'm like, get over it.
Oh my god! Did you see that? On topic, we're not on topic. Like that, COVID protocols are like all gone now.
Yeah.
Like CDC is like, just deal with it.
Yeah, basically.
I'm like, okay, I guess we've got to that point. Like, we're cool now.
I guess it's like no longer a pandemic. I guess maybe it's like an endemic.
I think it's seasonal. But like people are still getting like Nick got knocked out
up.
pretty bad.
Nick got knocked up.
COVID knocked me out.
Still trying. Waiting for that one.
So I'm Paul.
And I'm Joe.
And we're These Unprecedented Gays. So how was your week, Joe?
I just want to let the listeners know that you're like lit beautifully from like the ambiance of the sun coming through the shades.
The ambiance.
The ambiance.
Which reminds me, it's gonna get a little hot, so I gotta close that.
Is it? It's like I'm sitting right in front of the window with the sun beating in. So yeah, I'm gonna move around.
Well, and it's been weird weather because it's been like sunny and then downpour and then like cloudy.
And I did not know that it was gonna rain this much and like this weekend because like it didn't say so on the weather app.
It like said, oh, there might be a chance.
Right.
And you're like, a chance of rain? Okay, I've heard that before.
Well, and it was said it was supposed to rain yesterday, but it was only supposed to rain in the morning, and then it like rained all day.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
And then today, like, it was nice and it was like overcasty, and then like a little peak of sun, but then like it came down. I'm very upset, like for the people who are at Cross Festival. So if anybody doesn't know, is that now?
Yeah. So there is an EDM festival that happens twice a year here in San Diego. It's called Crossed, and it happens in the spring and the fall.
Is September? Is it always? Is it September? The next one?
Yes.
Okay. I was like, I feel like, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So
That would be the fall one.
You're right.
You right.
You right.
And I saw the lineup and I was like, it's okay. But like,
who's
the
the
only
main
one I wanted to
person?
go see was Armand Van Helden. So
Who is the main person?
I don't know.
I was like, I don't know who Armand is.
You don't know who Armand Van Helden is? Armand Van Helden was like huge when I was like in the club scene, like 20 years ago. But
when you were in the club scene, like you were a performer in clubs.
No, but I would go all the time.
So when you were an occupant of club life,
he had the best.
54 years old,
right? He had the best remixes. Like he did "Professional Widow" by Tori Amos, and that was like became huge for her because she wanted DJs who would like take a song of hers and make it unrecognizable, and that's exactly what he did.
Okay.
He took like one or two lines out of her song and made it into like a whole song. And it was called like Armand Star Trunk Funkin' Boot Mix or whatever.
And there were probably a lot of parentheses and features.
Yes. So anyway, like Cross Festival this weekend, and I feel bad for the people who went and like got all rained on and everything like that.
They're all on drugs anyway. It's fine.
But you said you don't know a lot of these people, and then you were like on the lineup because there's a lot of like DJ producing groups and stuff like that. And then you're also like, why are some people's names larger? I learned this from like reading about the Coachella lineups, and like the larger your name is, the more you get paid.
Oh,
because you're more of a name.
Oh, so
draw.
that's not like you have more of a set.
No, it's like you are. Well, it might have to do with that too, but it also means how much you're getting paid. So the further down you are, and the smaller your name is, the less you're getting paid.
Oh no!
And most of the big names are like the ones that are going to play like the best, the prime.
They're like the main stage. So they're like the headliner at the headliner.
That's what I thought it
like
was.
8 or 9
not that they're getting paid the more. Weird.
Right. So like that's what you see Beyonce and stuff like that. But
right.
then I'm
she
like,
was big.
I also like, okay, I guess it depends on what you're doing at the time, because like I would see people like there are groups that I really love who I thought would be higher up on the list,
and they weren't.
But they weren't.
Yeah.
Oh. But there was somebody who was like just came out, and they're higher up on the list because they're more well known at that time because they have.
I have always wondered, like,
too much politics,
publicists and politics and all this stuff.
Exactly, and who your record label is.
Yeah.
Just So
well, and there's like multiple stages, right? At Cross.
Yeah, at Cross Festival, just like at like Coachella or something like that, there's like different stages, like the Ocean View, which is by the harbor. There's the Palms, and then there's like another one. Yeah,
City Step.
Okay. It's very interesting.
It's not all in one location?
It's all downtown on the waterfront, but there's like different areas where you can go.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah. So it's actually it's very they did a really good job of like setting it up. So
I've always driven by and wondered what it was, and I'm like, oh, it's a festival.
It's just people doing drugs and dancing outside.
You know what? Listen,
right
if
outside
they're having
the San
fun,
Diego County building.
Yeah.
Is that the like
that big
the core
building?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's where you go for marriage licenses.
Yeah.
Oh, is that where you got yours?
Yes. Oh. We did go there.
Going to the.
Going to
not the chapel. Going to the
county building.
County and
gonna get our license. So what did you do?
So nothing too crazy. We did a couple dinners this weekend with. I don't know where. Nick will have to tell you where, but the.
Were you not there?
I was. It was like the
wine ball. Oh, I love the wine ball.
Okay, so we went and we were like, you guys would love it.
Yeah, have you guys been?
And
I took Eddie there for was it your birthday or
it was like a special
or
anniversary or birthday, and it was really good.
It was really good.
Yeah, and it was. I mean, I obviously don't drink, so I felt I was like, Nick, you're getting double the wine. And so enjoy.
I was toasty.
He was, yeah.
It was fun because they bring in. It was a Paso Doozy.
Doozy.
Yeah. Anyway, a Paso rep, and she happened to be like one of the owners of the vineyard, and talked about the wine for every course, and then the chef talked about the food.
The food was really good.
It was fun.
Oh yeah, they're
great
up there. Like,
and it's always like a fixed price.
Yes, and there's no substitution. So
and it's perfect sizing too, because I was like, oh my god, a 5-course meal, like I'm gonna not be able to eat all that. But they're like taste bites, if you will. And I was like, you know what? It was perfect.
And I love the interior, like the dining room is like super small.
It's cute,
and cute though.
It's very quaint.
It's weird though. It's just one of those places you don't think about going very often.
No.
You know?
Right? Because it is a special
it's an investment.
It is a special occasion kind of restaurant.
Yeah.
So
I will also say that the wait staff was just like distractingly beautiful.
Fine. There was this tall, like Nordic Swede man, and he was just like a Viking, ripped.
Oh my god, Sven is such a good server.
Wait, do you really know him? I was like, you would, because I was like, your pecs are bursting out of your shirt, and I want to see them. Just take the shirt off.
Is that the third course?
I think that was the course number 6 after dessert. If you stay and pay,
the 69 course,
right?
Yeah,
serving cake for dessert.
Oh, hot!
I mean, he definitely
Andy
had that.
got jokes and knows how to say it up.
he had a nice cake, too,
and Sven had layers of cake. It was a bodacious booty. There was just like, he was a very attractive man.
Oh my god, I was just wearing that shirt yesterday.
Oh, you're wearing your Vagina Heel shirt?
I was wearing my Vagina Heel
I
shirt
sometimes forget I'm wearing it, and people are like, oh, I love your shirt. I'm like, why are you looking at me? Because it's a rainbow heart with a drag queen in the middle. And like, it's very loud. but I've always gotten compliments. So Pangina, if you're listening, your shirts are great.
Great merch.
Great merch, and it's comfortable and it fits well. Like
it
it's
is
a well-made
nice quality.
Yeah, because those usually the like merch shirts are not good quality.
Right.
So like I was okay with it.
I just want to see you try to say merch shirts.
Merch shirts. Shirts of type merch. So we did that, and then I'm getting ready for going up to the baptism of the children. So just like getting my.
Why is this like a 4-day thing?
So I'm going up on Thursday night.
Like, how Catholic are you?
I seriously.
That's a promenade. Spend 4 days there.
I'm the most qualified Catholic.
So Italian.
I just thought they sprinkle some water on you.
No.
You're good.
So the baptism's on
It should be
Sunday.
15 minutes.
Right. It's a quickie, but it basically everything's turning into more. So like I get in Thursday. Val's birthday's Friday, so she's doing a like.
Didn't you just see Val for the Adele concert? So that wasn't that her birthday?
No, you can't see Val enough.
Okay.
So, but she's doing like a
That is
dinner,
true.
like a murder dinner party, where like a whodunit, and I'm all.
Those are fun.
I've never done it, and I'm really excited, and I
Do you
hope
have to
I'm the
dress up?
murderer. I don't know. I will find out.
We've done it before where they're like themed, like 20s themed.
I was just
Yeah.
gonna say, what's the theme?
It's like baking or something. I don't know what, but like
Murder in the kitchen.
it's like I think so. Yeah.
Oh.
So I'm like, okay, I'm down, and I kind of want to be the murderer because we're drawing hats.
So do you want to bring a chef's coat just in case? You have a costume?
Oh, I don't think I can fit it in my bag. I'm only bringing a
you
backpack.
said, air compression bag. You can fit it like that.
I have some. I'll just wear an apron and nothing else. So, but that's a Friday. So, get in Thursday, going down to see her Friday because it's about an hour and 45 to 2 hour
She's not coming
drive.
to the baptism?
She is.
Oh, okay.
But then Saturday, I go back up to the Northern Bay or whatever, East Bay, because she's like Santa Cruz, and my parents are in like an hour and 2 hours away. And then baptism's Sunday, but then Sunday after the baptism, my niece is having a birthday party. So it's just turned into like a lot, which I'm fine to do because I don't have to drive
What did you get Val for her birthday?
myself.
Ew. Did you keep the receipt?
Yeah. Although there are no returns.
Got out there with a discount.
No returns, no substitution.
Well, and my mom was like, "Oh, what do you like? Did you get the kids anything for the baptism?" I was like, "Am I supposed to?" Like,
Money.
I was like, "Oh my god!" I
That's
was
what she
like,
said too.
In the
Like-
old days, it was a savings bond.
What
Remember
am
the
I-
days when you used to get savings
What am I
bonds?
why do I need to get a kid something for getting water thrown on his face?
for being indoctrinated and groomed. Thank you.
Exactly.
But I like, okay, I have no problem being an uncle, but like, I now am on the hook financially.
How old are they?
5, 3, and 1.5.
So this is a late to the party baptism.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, so
I mean,
they...
these children should have been baptized at
Correct.
like 8 weeks.
Oof.
Correct.
Could've been
And
going to
so
hell.
Tony didn't really like have any plans on doing it. However, I will say there was pressure from some parents on the baptism. So this
Tony,
is
you gotta do the
It
baptism.
just goes to
Is
show
that
you
sound
that
Italian?
constant and persistent pressure.
No,
will
but it sounded
yield
like Mike.
results.
Oh yeah, and so this is an appeasement, and I was like, are we going to be raising them into the faith with the Lord? And every time I greet the children, it's, hello children, God bless you. Let's read a psalm. No, that's what I have to do now.
May the Lord be with you, and also,
And also with you.
Amen.
Christ
is born,
Like,
or
are they
whatever.
being
Under his
dumped?
eye.
Or are they being
No. So I think
using a super soaker?
No.
I just want to know like how this
No,
works.
I think Dominic has to climb in because he's like a large human now. He's like 5,
Well, they
and then
just
the other
pour
two,
this
I
up.
think they do like hold, and then you like pour over.
Yeah.
But I want to see them dogs.
Oh,
so bad.
they're a pour over.
Right.
Like at Starbucks.
No French press, no espresso, no blended macchiato.
So we got my oldest son baptized in a Catholic church, and they did a dunk. And
Oh, yeah.
The water was warm, so they made sure like it was not going to be a scary experience.
I mean, it'll be.
But you put a naked little baby in the water, and it's pee time.
Oh,
so we
really?
had the fountains of northern New Jersey at the time.
I mean, it's appropriate.
Like Bellagio over there.
There was music; it was incredible.
And then Jesus was there.
Is it going to be like one of these where he gets in? And they
You know what? I'll have to report back. I don't really know.
Yeah, take pictures. We want to see.
There hasn't been a lot of organization.
Oh.
So
Like the one with the guy bending over, getting water poured on. That's probably more common.
So I'm just saying, you got to get this thing organized because the devil's in the details.
No, the devil is getting excluded because of all the details.
We went through like the practice run. Oh my god, we were doing. It was like a Zoom
practice run.
It was like a Zoom. No, like a Zoom. Like here's what to expect.
Zoom rehearsal for a baptism.
Like
on Zoom,
not like the baptism like itself, but like what to expect. And like it was me, Val's sister Renee, and Tony, and like we were on camera, and like I was just like, I can't. This is like too funny.
Are you a godparent?
Oh yeah. I'm the godfather.
He's the Goomba.
I'm the one and only godfather.
Well, you're like, Tony, I can't be the godfather. You know what I'm saying?
No, I'm the only one that he knows because you have to be a confirmed Catholic, and I like did that.
Yeah, well,
kind of like a confirmed bachelor.
Can't you unconfirm yourself?
Wait, you're not a confirmed Catholic.
I am.
You are not.
Yes, I am.
Do you go to church every Sunday?
No, I was confirmed.
When was your last confession?
I confess every day.
When's the last time you received the Eucharist?
I Eucharist.
He got that earlier today, dude.
Bro, I had bread.
Body
I
of
had
Christ.
bread
You know what I'm saying? Like when they were dinner, like, Christ, what a body.
Body, yaddy. Eucharist. No, but I'm the only like on paper, and I had to go call the church I was confirmed at and ask for records because they were like, "Oh, we need your records." I'm like, "Are you serious? You need like
Are you
records?" No, but their records go back forever.
The rules vary church or parish to parish probably because we did not have kind of Catholics as our godparents.
Must be nice. Yeah, so we're in the Catholic Church, and the requirement was that you need to be a confirmed Catholic to be a godparent.
So their records go back a while. Is it like BC? Kind of?
I don't know. Ever since the church opened, so I would say like early 1900s.
So in Europe, in order to get like your birth records and baptismal certificates are actually easier to get than birth certificates for people like in the pre-50s.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, so it was a lot of work. So it's going to be a long weekend, but then after that, I'm home, and then we go for, I think it's 2 or 3 days, and then it's New York. And I'm like, I'm ready to stop traveling because I've been on a plane for too many days.
Hey, I mean, New York sounds like it's going to be fun, though.
New York?
No, but you're going to the baptism?
No. I don't think Nick
I hope Nick's going to New York.
I was like, Nick doesn't need to be subjected to that. At all.
No, I
not at all. And he has a wedding to go to anyway, so.
Oh my god.
I know. Too much.
Here or in Utah?
No, it's up in the valley. Whatever they call the valley. San Fernando Valley.
The porn capital. So yeah, that's been me. And I've also been watching like packing efficiency videos too, just because like I have like weird like ebbs and flows of like how to pack efficiently, like one bag packing, like how to maximize your weight so it's not too heavy so you get charged. And then I go through like skincare and then like politics. And like now I'm back on packing. So that's what's on my feed. So that was me. How are you?
So we did a dry run this weekend on the compression bags for the trip.
Okay.
The
vacuum seal one.
Did the little vacuum work?
The little vacuum work.
Oh.
I will say, like, I think I'm going to try it with the vacuum and see if I can get, like, even more
Yes,
suction.
you will. Because those little vacuums, oh my God, I was going to say they suck. But, like, I wasn't even trying. But they don't pull enough, like, air out.
Yeah, so I think if I use the vacuum, it'll really do it.
Yes.
And so I also, like, because there's a bunch of different sizes, so I'm, like, hoping that my shorts will fit in one of them, and like I'll get a bunch of them done too. So that was cool. And then like Andy, since we're looking for houses, he saw one in Palm Desert that we both were like, oh my God, this looks really cool. So we're like, well, when can we see it? And then I'm like, oh God, if we have to go drive up there for the day, like just to go look at this one house and then drive back.
Because that's what, 3 hours each way?
Right. But then we like, it was like this whole thing where they wanted all this information ahead of time and stuff.
I mean, there are a couple of property managers there that they want a copy of your driver's license submitted to them digitally before they'll even schedule. You can't even talk to a person. It's all like, you just get an automated message response and stuff. So
to even like schedule a look at it?
Schedule a look at it.
That's weird.
It's almost like they want a pre-app before they want...
Right.
And they're not making you pay for that, though, right?
No, I mean, you will pay for the application.
Yeah, that makes sense, but, like, that's weird. Yeah, it's a lot of extra.
Yeah, so, I mean, other than that, nothing really going on. I mean, like I said, I'm just watching videos because, like, we are getting so close. We're, like, in the final countdown of this, like, trip. Yeah. Right? And I know I talk about it a lot. And I was like... I told Andy, I'm like, this is how like my excitement manifests itself. I want to talk about like everything that's going to happen. I want to plan it out. I want to like,
I can't wait. I can't wait to watch your trip.
Right before Instagram. You guys came over, we were checking out what Air New Zealand is showing on the pre-flight entertainment.
You can look that up.
Yeah, they show you what's going to be happening for that month. So like they have Wonka.
Months, so now that we're in March,
Wonka's going to be out. On the flight, yeah. So
you can probably watch 12 movies and still be in the air.
Well, and then like, is this the Wonka experience from Glasgow? Did you see that?
No.
Did you see that on RuPaul Drag Race Instagram where they're like, if this post gets 1 million likes, we'll invite the Oompa Loompa from the Glasgow thing.
And that's real drag. Yeah.
Well, that's real drag. The other thing we did yesterday, we started Lord of the Rings.
Yes.
Have you ever seen them?
Yes.
He has.
You've never?
I haven't actually sat down to watch the movie. Like, somebody I dated was like wanted to watch all of them in a row, and I'm like, you do you, boo. And then I was like, but I'm not gonna like sit here and watch it. So like, I watched little bits and pieces of it.
And I just wish that they were the extended version that you're watching.
No.
They're an extra hour.
Okay, I know, it's so great.
And it's like
he did it with Steve while I was away, and I was like, I will never ever do that.
I was like, okay, let's look at the 2 towers. 2 towers regular, just under 3 hours.
Right.
And with the extended version, under 4 hours. And I'm like, I don't have that. Like, no.
You're going to have that on your flight over to...
I just love, like, making fun of the movie as it goes on. Because I'm like, there's all these, like... the little clasp on their capes look like penises. I like everything about this is very penis.
It's gay as fuck. Also, like Samwise Gamgee and Frodo, like they fucking
But I mean, like there's the giant tower that they put Gandalf on, and then they start trimming all of the trees around it. Like, they are
I didn't even think about that. Oh my god!
And the inside the house of Bilbo, it's like all circles. And I'm like. It's either like cock rings,
oh my god,
or like he's walking through his anal. Like
I am never gonna watch these movies the same ever again.
I mean, I always knew like the gay undertones for like Frodo and Samwise Gamgee, but like,
we just started the 2 towers, and like there's a part where like in the beginning, right in the intro, like Frodo has a dream and he wakes up. He's like Gandalf, and all you see is Sam pop up behind him. It's like, Mr. Frodo, are you okay? And I'm like. Oh, do you need me to hold you closer, Tiny Dancer?
Yes. Are you, do you like the soundtrack, or the score, or whatever the music is to it?
I mean...
I've always liked the score.
Because that's, my favorite part of the Lord of the Rings trilogies are the music. That's not good grammar. But, like, it's the symphony and, like, the composure of all of that. It's beautiful. Like, beautiful music.
You know what I love is where you can actually see where the green screen is and where it's not. Yeah. And then when it's in a studio and when it's out in New Zealand. So,
But there are things about, like, the whole Gollum, the way they filmed Gollum is incredible.
Right. Yeah, because he was, like,
how long ago was that? It
football.
was, like,
20 years ago.
20 years ago?
I think...
That was state-of-the-art
technology. They came out in like
2002,
2003, 2004, if I'm not mistaken. Or 5, 6, 7.
Yeah, and then like Andy's he watched them when they were in the theater, so it's like they came out and then you had to wait 1.5 years or so for the next one to come out. Yep. So it's like he's getting to see it like in a row right after each other.
Yep, they were good. I mean, I remember it was like that was back when it was Harry Potter's were coming out and then Lord of the Rings were coming out. So it was like blockbuster hits every Christmas. Yep.
Right.
Because I would go with my great aunt, and we would see Lord of the Rings, and then also like do the Harry Potters too. So
I did 2 Lord of the Rings because we were divorced. So every other Christmas I had the kids or didn't have the kids. So on the years when I didn't have the kids, I would go to the movies that day. It was like
Oh, that's really good, probably too. No people.
It was great, and it was just really fun to. Yeah. With all the Jewish people.
Well, once you've watched them all, then you can move on to The Hobbit.
No. Well, that's the plan.
Oh, you really?
We actually thought, do we watch them in chronological order, which would mean you watch The Hobbit first, or do you watch them in order of release?
I think you do order of release.
I couldn't get through The Hobbit because the first one I was like, oh great, I love the book. I actually read the book, and then the first one, I was like, they're making this a trilogy. So it's 3 movies. The Hobbit is 3 movies.
And guess what? They have extended editions of those too.
Yes. I don't think I need
we
to see
should watch
them.
the extended edition, director commentary.
I'm here for it. That's what Steve and I do. Whenever I want to get into that, it's a Steve
I'm like,
and I
want to.
activity.
So it obviously was sold a certain way, and that's how I want to receive it.
But I mean, the other logic though is that if you watch the director's cut, that's what they wanted to present, not what the studio commercial people wanted to present.
Yeah, it's
and
just so
you do see
much
more of the art, you know.
Yeah,
that's what I love.
I don't have an appreciation for that because I don't come from that film background, but I honor Nick's appreciation.
So,
of that.
question for Nick and Steve: when they watch it, like, do you pause and then talk about things, or do you
we watch them and then we're like, I mean, we like to talk about stuff. It's like, oh yeah, you can see like the quirk thing here, or Steve's a little bit more technical than I ever was, but because he'll like talk about how like the different angles, and for him, it's the big idea of how they use tricks to make Gandalf look so tall next to the hobbits, and then like
I always wondered that
like, all of that stuff.
Yeah.
And he's like, this is pretty cool. Like,
I thought they used like forced perspective or something.
Forced perspective on some of it, and others is like just the
or
way
kids in a boat.
different actors, but a lot of it's forced protective. So it's pretty cool
with wigs.
Yeah, exactly. Like when they got their backs turned to like if they're talking to Strider, those are little kids.
You're not wrong.
I know.
So when I used to go to Comic-Con with the kids when they were younger, that was when all the Lord of the Rings were coming out, and so like one year Merry and Pippin were actually at Comic-Con.
Oh, cute! Yeah, that's fun. You mean you didn't dress up as Treebeard?
I don't know who that is.
It's the tree guy, the big tree thing.
He's not there yet. They're only 2 movies in.
They're not. Whatever.
We're only like 10 minutes into movie 2.
Oh yeah. We haven't. We just started Two Towers.
Are you going to be able to finish them before you go?
That's the plan.
I think so.
They're so long.
We still haven't finished Oppenheimer, but you know,
chop.
So we'll see.
But do you like? So you start it and then you like get to a point and then you like leave it?
No, these ones we're actually watching all the way through.
Okay.
But like Oppenheimer, we started watching it and then we had to stop halfway through because it was just like.
And to be fair, like last night we watched the first one and halfway through I could have stopped and picked it up today. Like I don't need to watch them all but honestly the third hour I don't remember as much.
You get sore from sitting for so long.
I want to pay attention, but you can't really pay attention for that long.
It's hard.
I did. So.
Go. Okay. Get a girl.
I'm like a rock.
Yes.
So that means it's time for
mouth to mouth.
Mouth to mouth
resuscitation.
So Joe, what's giving you life? What's giving you the breath of life?
Isn't that a song by Florence and the Machine for the Snow White and the Huntsman? Why do I know that?
I don't know, but I don't know if it is or not.
I think it's Breath of Life from the Snowman and the Huntsman, or Snow White and the Huntsman, and Charlize Theron's in the movie. Anyway, so what's giving me life? I have 3 things. So I think you guys are aware that I don't ever change clothes. Like, I have the same routine of clothes that I obviously change clothes to like clean clothes, but like I went into like the bottom part of my like t-shirts drawer and I was like, oh my God, like I forgot about that shirt. And I felt like it was Christmas again. And I was like, that's a cute shirt. So I think just rediscovering things that you have that you forgot is giving me life. And then the second one is the fact that it's not sunset at 4 p.m. Okay. It's like getting later and I'm getting like more kind of, I don't want to say energized or motivated, but it's like there's a like awakening of like we're out of the dreariness.
People's seasonal depression is starting to evaporate a little bit.
And I mean, you live in a place where there should be no seasonal depression.
Right.
But, I feel bad for people who live in winter, where
like Alaska?
Still slammed.
Well, there's the one, I don't know if it's like Alaska, but they like have like 30 days of night.
Yeah, there
are 20 days a night. Something.
There are places in Northern Europe like Norway and Denmark.
That would be, and they have to do like artificial light. Like they need, they have like alarm clocks that have like sunlights. Yeah, yep.
Yeah,
which is crazy. I don't know what I would do if I didn't see the sun for.
But what if you had to do 30 days of like just light because they get those too, like where it's.
I can't do that either. Like I need something that's in the middle because when I was in Europe in
you mean
June,
like 12 hours of daylight.
My ex-wife went to Alaska to visit a friend during July, and at 9:30 at night it was still perfectly light.
I couldn't do that. That would it was that way in Europe too. And when I was in Italy in July, and I was like, the sun sets at 9:30. I was like, I'm supposed to be like starting to wind down, but it's still light out, and that it's what? So that's a mindfuck. But I'm glad that we're getting more sunshine, even though it's raining, and I'm glad the days are becoming longer because that means summer is approaching. Even though I don't like summer, I just like being able to have light outside. And then lastly, I don't know if you ever watched Avatar on Nickelodeon.
Avatar: The Last Airbender?
Yes.
Yes.
So there's a Netflix show,
which is live action,
and it is very good.
Oh, yeah.
So
it's really good.
We started watching it, and I was hesitant because the last real live action that they did was the M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong, and that was it was horrible. This one is much better. The acting could use a little work, but I think they're doing a good
children.
Right. But they're paying the like respect to the original cartoon.
People who really look like
the Sokka guy looks absolutely like the character, and I was like, damn. So they casted it very well, but it's very well done. It has some good names. The guy from Kim's convenience store,
right? Yeah,
he's the uncle.
He's Iroh.
And then
I love
Daniel Day Kim.
Daniel Kim from Lost.
Yes, he is the evil Fire Lord.
He is Fire Lord
Shozen.
Yes.
Sozan.
Yeah.
But it's very well done. So I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it. It's pretty fun. So those are my three. What is your obsessions?
So what's giving me life? I am actually rewatching the second season of One Punch Man. Because the third season's coming out. So
what is One Punch Man?
It is an anime.
Okay.
And it's on Hulu, and it's about a guy who's basically can defeat monsters, and he usually just does it in one punch.
Nice. Ooh.
So it's a great show. It's stupid. It's funny. It's really good. And then I also started watching Black Clover, which is another anime about a world full of magic. And there's two characters. One character is super... has an innate ability for magic, so he's...
Is that the guy with the cards?
No.
Because I watched an anime it was a guy with cards. This was a long time ago.
Yeah. No, this is much newer, and then the other character is somebody who is anti-magic, so he was born without the ability for magic and stuff, and then ends up... So it's really good. The only reason I know about it is because of Megan Thee Stallion. It was one of her favorite animes of the year, so I was
I'm gonna watch that anime.
Oh, she loves it.
Really?
She just presented at the Anime Awards. Like
thought
she, I love her.
Nerd.
I know, right? So those are what's gonna be like. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I made a playlist for my trip called Pandy's Australia Trip. So if anybody wants to go out there and listen to it on Spotify, it's out there.
Does it feature really Australian artists?
I did nothing but rain sticks.
It's all the Brookstone music
from down under.
Yeah, it's a lot of men at work, a lot of Kylie, a lot of Danny,
a lot of Vegemite.
So yeah, it's a lot of that.
Okay. Very that.
So this week we decided to do based on what we talked about last week, because your family found out that there is
long
another
lost uncle. Yeah.
So based on people doing 23andMe, but that got me thinking about people who have secrets that they are keeping from their families, that they're wanting to take to their grave, they're keeping from their partners or whoever, and but they're people will put anything out on the internet, so they decided.
Well, because you could do anonymous stuff now,
right?
I learned in doing research about this because I found a BuzzFeed article, and then I was like, I gotta go to Reddit because everyone on Reddit has stories, but I learned that there are throwaway accounts. People will make a fake account, or not a fake account. They'll make an account that has no relation to anything that they have.
And it's usually like am I the asshole or whatever? It's like they'll go, this is a throwaway account,
right?
Because my partner knows my other account, and I'm just like, okay.
I bet they're keeping that to the grave. Now that's a family secret. Well, so I wanted
a burner account,
kind of,
like that, yeah.
Like it's not connected to your regular email. You get a fake email address.
Right. So you like make a fake email and then you register on whatever these things are. So you have no traceability. I wanted
when you want to do another 7-day trial on on something, you just get another email account.
In the old days of AOL.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you wanted that keep that subscription going.
I did that for Del Taco when I was in college because this was how broke I was. You could do the Del Taco Club, and you would get like coupons for like X amount of dollars off, and this is off of their dollar menu, so it was like not that great, but like you would get like a certain like intro bonus where it's like you get a free burrito, a free like I don't know whatever, and then so I would do that, and I would run out obviously because I would have exhausted the intro bonus, and then I would just do another account.
So no lie, we used to do that for either NBC or CBS. I can't remember now which one, but you'd get to watch 3 episodes of. It was the one that has.
And, it was like the one that has Bravo because we're trying to watch Top Chef. So
we had like 5 different email addresses.
Oh my god!
To our various Bravo accounts
just to get through a season.
Hey,
if there's a will, there's a way, right? You got to eat and you got to watch Bravo.
So what was your question?
Well, I wanted to know, do you guys have any like personal accounts or personal family secrets, either that like you guys have in your immediate families or friend group or like tertiarily like in your immediate circles, like anything like that?
I mean, I do.
Do you want to put them on the internet? I mean,
it's I do. So, but the biggest one, like within my family, is it's not like a secret from my family, but it's a secret to everybody outside of my family. Is there actually is another child? So there are actually 4 of us, not 3 of us. So,
wait.
So when my mom was in the Philippines, before she met my dad, she was dating this guy, and she was also like a singer and blah blah blah.
Okay.
So I know, right? It's cute. There's like a picture. I remember vividly. There's a picture of my mom on stage in a club, and I was just like, oh,
that's endearing.
Yeah. So she was dating this one guy, a Filipino guy, and I guess she got pregnant, but gave the child up for adoption.
Okay.
So, and then, like, when I was younger, like, I would say, like, around 17 or so, the child reached out and, like, came to the States and kind of lived with, I guess it was, like, living in the States already, but, like, came to Florida and stayed with us for a while and stuff like that.
Wow.
But at the time, I was still dealing with who I was.
Right.
Sure.
Being gay and everything. And this person was a woman who was gay presenting male.
Oh.
So, yeah. And I was just like,
How much older?
Probably like 6-7 years older than me.
Okay.
So, but it was also very interesting because they stayed with us for a while and then left because they just didn't work out. Like, it clashed with my mom a lot and stuff. So, but I don't know where they are at this point. We never kept in touch.
Really?
Yes.
Do you want to?
I think so, especially now that I know who I am as a person and I'm comfortable with it.
Right.
And then I'd also just like to know that they're okay, kind of thing. Yeah. So, yeah.
Oh my god, that seems to be like a very common in all of the research I was doing. Like you had a life before you started a family, and it was a similar like I had a baby, I put him up for adoption because I couldn't do it at that point. I was either young or like the circumstances didn't work out, and then I started a family, and then it's like by the way, there was like this other person.
Yeah, like when I was looking through these stories and stuff like that, I kind of shied away from the ones that were like. Anything having to do with like sexual assault or like
there were a lot.
There were a lot,
dark.
Girl, a lot.
Because I tried to keep. Yes, there were a lot. I tried to keep them light. Although I do have some murders.
And I have a couple that are a little bit more like they're heavy, but not like heavy that like I had sexual assault, and then I had to give up my baby, and I had to have an abortion, and it's like, that's a lot. That's really,
That's a lot.
So I was like, okay, I'm glad you were able to share that, and hopefully it gave you some catharsis, but like, I don't want to bring it up.
Nah.
So let's get into it then.
I know. You want to start? Go ahead.
Yeah, so I have like a couple small short stories, if you want to call them that, or like little brief ones.
And a lot of all of these are anonymous, so we don't, like, unless there's like contextual clues, we don't know if this person is male or female, unless,
I have no
I
idea.
said, unless there's contextual clues within it that tells us. So just keep that in mind, listeners, it's not us. It's just,
it's the World Wide Web.
Yes.
Okay, so I'll start with one, and it didn't really have a title, and it was my grandparents met in a mental hospital. My grandmother worked there, and my grandfather was a patient. Ooh. He was also married at the time, and since he never got the divorce, my grandparents weren't legally married. So they met while he was being, and I feel like this is like the thing too. I was thinking about a lot of these, like back in the day, like. I feel like if you were to meet someone in like a quote unquote loony bin right now, like there's nothing wrong with that, because like I feel like a lot of people are seeking like treatment for whatever their needs
But also
are.
Back then,
wait, but I can't let that go. Joe's like, if you meet someone in a loony bin, no judgment there.
Right? Yeah. Okay. As long as they're not your attending doctor, like, because I think that's a HIPAA violation.
Facility.
Yeah. At an inpatient.
Yes.
Psychological evaluation.
But
center.
also, like, back in the 50s or so, anything was like out of the ordinary was considered a mental health issue.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like, they made you out to be like you were crazy and you needed to go into an asylum or something. So it was just like, I mean,
well, even non-compliance with the norm, like anything that was considered counterculture, was mental health. You were deranged. You were psychotic.
Right.
You needed help.
Yeah, if women, like, I think when women were, like, having their periods, they were like, you're hysterical. And it's like, just it's because there's, like, things going on in their body.
Yeah.
Like, they're not crazy.
So, my first one is, I'm asexual and never plan to marry or have kids. Having a wedding and entering parenthood is my family's informal rite of passage to be considered a real adult. So, to them, I'll always be the immature one. They think I just haven't met the right person, and I refuse to correct them because their reaction is painful to imagine. But I'm also like, that's weird. And not that I don't think it's weird that you're asexual. Like, I completely understand that. Like, but like I don't know. Like,
the family's expectations
at this point, time.
Yeah.
Is it weird? Do you mean that the parent, like, their family is like, in order for you to be part of our family, you have to be married?
We still have this like matriarchal idea of like who we are as an adult, and I'm also like, that would be so hard to keep, like, because like asexual people have a hard time like even saying that to other people, and I'm just like,
because people don't understand. They're like, oh, you were repulsed by like humans,
and I didn't know that there were so many different levels to that too. Like,
really,
asexual, gray sexual. Like,
what's gray sexual?
What's the one where it's emotional but not physical?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Like, no, not levels of sexual offender.
Let's
levels
not look
of
that
asexual.
I had no idea. I thought it was just that asexuality meant that you don't have a desire for sex. But that makes sense. Everything's a spectrum.
Demisexual.
Not Demi Lovato.
No. But, like, asexual means that you don't have any desire whatsoever, I guess, to have sex.
Yeah.
Whereas gray sexual means, like, I think you will after you have an emotional connection. Like, you have to have an emotional connection to be able to have sex with somebody.
I'm gray sexual.
Maybe. Like, if you don't have a need to, like, have sex outside of that. Because, like, as humans, you know, we can have, like, fornication is, like, the thing.
Right,
like, you know. But, like, these people really have to build that up first before they can do it.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I just learned that. I feel like maybe parts of that, yeah. Interesting.
Well, and like it would be a part of even pansexual or
right under that whole
there's
umbrella.
So
but,
much. I need to like do my research. Okay, so This one I thought was interesting just because how kind of things played out. So it was after my uncle died, we discovered that he had a second wife who he spent most of the time with. Literally no one on either of this knew for over 25 years. The kicker is he also purchased the same prefab house, same furniture, and same everything for each of his wives so their houses mirrored each other.
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh.
And then in parentheses it says, and probably helped keep his story straight.
Well, and then that, like there are people who, when they cheat on someone, they always buy their main person and then their side person the same exact gift, so they don't have to worry about like keeping it straight and everything.
That's smart.
But like
That's
this
smart.
is also like the guy who had a family and then left his family and decided to start another family with somebody else somewhere else, but named the kids all the exact same name as his other kids from his first family. That was like crazy. Like
That's weird.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Weird.
But how do people have like the two simultaneous? Like, I guess you're in a job where you're on the road a lot, and
maybe
I don't have.
And you're living in like Alabama, where you can
like
have two homes.
The capacity to I mean, maybe they're operating on a higher level because they can live two lives in parallel. Because I barely can live one life.
Right.
Yeah, but like, you think about like if I travel or you travel, like you're in constant communication with the person that you care about.
Yes.
And like they know kind of what you're doing day to day. Like how detached do you have to be to make that happen?
Right. Or like how good of a like fabricating liar. Yeah. And like, but then it's like, again, like it just seems so emotionally taxing to be able to do all of that.
Well, and then not only that, but like you've got to keep a calendar of everything.
Right.
Like birthdays, anniversaries.
These are some of my favorite movies, though, when they have like a person who realizes that the person that their spouse is not who they thought they were, and they're actually out doing, like, they have a whole separate life.
They're a spy.
Yeah, or a spy.
They're a spy.
So like you thought they were in business in Europe, but they're actually right down the block
at the convenience store
as a security guard.
All right, so my next one is, one night I was staying at my parents' house for Christmas. I woke up in the middle of the night and decided to get some fresh air in the backyard. I walked outside and saw my father taking a shit in the garden. Without stopping, he told me that was how he fertilizes the roses.
Oh my God.
Which, for the record, have won several prizes. He told me not to tell anyone. That was 10 years ago. He's passed away since, but I never told anyone until what I saw until now. So, Andy, you grow roses. Is that like a good way to fertilize them?
I think the best part of that is that they won prizes. Yeah, because they're so pretty,
award winning.
But also, like, are you just like out there and like you walk outside and all of a sudden you made eye contact with your dad and he's like taking a shit. And then like, did he like spread it around, or was it just like one big lump?
It's like dogs, because like dogs kind of look at you while they're doing their business too, so they're like locked eye contact. Oh, that's funny.
Okay, I was getting my next one queued up. Because some of these are longer than the others, and I'm like, wait, I forgot what that one was. Okay, so this one is a little more, like, not super serious, but, like, So it starts off, it says, my dad didn't want me born. And then apparently the day that my mom found out she was pregnant with me, my dad yelled and pressured her to not keep the pregnancy. My mom, my brother, and sister left to live with the grandparents, or my mom, my brother, and sister left to live with my grandparents for a while because of that fight. He eventually came around, but still pretty damn shocking to find out that your dad didn't want you initially. Fast forward a couple years, I hit a rabbit late at night in the middle of Nevada while on a road trip with my dad. Immediately after hitting it, my dad says, at least it wasn't a person. Found out a few later that he hit a drunk guy on the highway when he was in college. He was ruled not at fault in court. Needless to say, my dad and I have an odd relationship.
That's like... There's layers there. Like, I wonder if he hit the guy, and then that's when he found out that the wife was pregnant. So it was like just compounding everything.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Okay, so This one is that they keep a secret from the family that I'm married to my childhood best friend. I've known my husband since I was 8 years old. I know he's the love of my life, but he comes from a family that's in a much higher class than mine. Like, they are rich. When we were kids, I always heard people whisper in my ear things like, keep him close, you'll become rich one day, and you don't have to study, just marry him. It sounds so stereotypical, but his parents didn't like me at all because of my class status.
Ew.
So when we started dating at 16, we didn't tell anybody. We liked our private relationship because we didn't have to deal with family drama. But when I was 21, I got into a car accident that resulted in me being comatose for a week.
Oh, God.
Once I recovered, we got married in secret. And now we live a wealthy life, and I work a high-paying job as well. However, we plan on telling his family over the holidays about our marriage because it's become progressively harder to keep our union a secret. Oh, and she was from Slovakia.
Oh, wait, so they got secretly married?
It's a cultural thing there.
Yeah.
So she got secretly married?
Yeah, they got secretly married. Which I'm like, okay, that's cute that the guy was like, she was in an accident and he stayed with her.
Yeah.
Because some guys would just be like, deuces, I'm out.
I mean, I feel like that's a Nicholas Sparks movie.
Yeah, right.
It's called The Coma. Featuring Rachel McAdams and...
Ryan Gosling.
Play somebody from Slovakia.
Right. Cillian Murphy or whatever his name is. Okay, this one was like... It's not crazy, but I was like, oh my God, this is a lot. So my father's cousin's situation is quite unusual. We'll call her M. She had multiple pregnancies, but all of them ended in a stillbirth or miscarriage. When she was in her late 30s, she tried one more time, but it was a stillbirth again. M's friend was an OBGYN doctor in this hospital, and she knew there was a teenage girl who wanted to leave her daughter in the hospital to be sent to an orphanage. So M's doctor friend switched babies. The stillborn baby was registered as the teenage girl's, and the living baby as M's daughter. Both mothers were in on it, and the nurses as well. And I'm kind of like, that's not terrible. Like, if you are like a willing... doer.
Okay, but I still think it's like weird because like you hear about these stories about babies being switched at hospitals and stuff, or like what about? Did you hear about the doctor who impregnated a bunch of women who came to him for IVF?
Yes,
and he used his own sperm.
Yes,
no,
so it's a documentary on Netflix.
Yeah, and they found out because this woman
that's disgusting.
She dated a guy. And they were thinking about getting married, and then they broke up. And then later on, she found out about this, and he was also a child of the IVF.
Oh, no.
And they could have married, they would have been. They were like brother.
So they
and
were
sister. They were half brother and sister.
Ew, that is. I'm repulsed by that. That's so a fertility doctor.
You know, they didn't know because so they could have if they hadn't gotten married and stuff. You don't know what kind of issues may have arose.
It reminds me of that. Remember the story about the triplets and they got reunited?
Oh my God, those three
those three guys that are identical.
Italian guys, yeah.
Oh yeah,
and the one guy just shows up at college and everybody's calling him by the wrong name, and all of a sudden he realizes that he has a completely different personality, like that and it's his twin brother.
An Amazon package just showed up. I was like, there's somebody at my door.
Printer ink everywhere. He was really committed to that delivery. Like, he was right at our door looking in.
Okay, so this is my secret with my mom and dad that we kept from everyone else in the family. My dad is married to another woman. Mom is single. Mom and dad, hard to actually call them that, have been having an affair for 30 plus years.
Oh my God.
Even their best friends don't know about it. I was an accident.
Oh.
Dad stepped out of the picture because my parents didn't want me to know about the affair and who he was. At 15, when I was told who he was and tried to act cool so as not to upset my mom, he came back into my mom's life, but absolutely not mine. I have 3 siblings who don't know I exist, 2 brothers and a sister. They have the most amazing life. 2-parent income, holidays, all the things I wanted as a kid in a family of 3 with a single mom. I went to high school with my brother. I'm in my mid-20s now. I still want to meet them. I just can't be the one to break the secret and crush 2 families. That's
crazy.
hard.
How did they know?
Lot.
But how did they find out?
They found out because the mom finally told them. But I'm like, that's hard for a child.
100%. But also that whatever the child, male, female, whatever they were, is like, I didn't get this life that the others had.
Oh, yeah, that's hard.
And it's hard to see somebody having that life.
Right.
And you know it. Like, you can literally
But did they
see
know
it
that those people were who they were when they were, in school with them?
I think so later on because they found out when they were 15. But also, did you not notice that somebody looks kind of like you?
Right.
But you don't necessarily. I mean that isn't always the case, right? I mean, so my first wife and I were married, and my wife's sister and my brother were married, but even though they came from common gene pools, they look very different.
Yeah,
none of their kids look like our parents.
Yeah, no, they don't.
Interesting.
Some of the kids are trying to look like the parents, though.
Oh. Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
No, I think
You're like, you know what? You're genetically, you're related genetically.
That's a thing.
Okay. This one is about someone dying. So,
Oh, gosh.
whatever. Well, not. You take it with a grain of salt. So, my extremely wealthy uncle was going downhill quick with Alzheimer's. Before he was too far gone, he apparently made a deal with my aunt that when things got to the point that they would have to send him to a nursing home, she would kill him instead. He wrote all of this in a letter and gave it to the attorney of their estate. When the time came, I don't know why she chose to shoot him in the back of the head instead of something less violent, but she did. It was a pretty big trial with a fair bit of news coverage, and it really blew up the lawyer as the lawyer testified and brought forward the letter. My aunt served 2 years and was released on parole.
I mean, you gotta admit, like, it doesn't matter whether you gave them permission or not. She still killed someone.
For real. But, like, it's like, I mean, it's very, like, ethical and all that, because it's kind of like, is that assisted suicide? Because you're like euthanasia, like, that's legal in some states.
What does kids in China have to do with what we're talking about?
Because they were the ones that pulled the trigger.
euthanasia.
Do you remember?
Why not choose a different way to do it? Why did you have to go the bloody and was he awake when it was happening?
He probably forgot about it.
Oh no, she just came up and like, you know.
Or was it just like all of a sudden?
If I was the wife, I would have a hard time killing my husband.
Oh, I thought it was his sister.
No, his wife.
Oh, okay.
So the aunt.
So there was this woman that had a child out of wedlock, and in order to work, she had the child stay with an innkeeper and his wife, and then she died of dysentery because she got fired from her job. And the mayor of the town ended up going and taking care of the daughter and raising her.
It sounds like Les Mis.
I'm like, wait, Andy.
I was like,
what's
It sounds
happening
like
here?
Les Mis. Why does it sound like Les Mis?
Very dramatic family secret.
It's almost like they dreamed a dream of dreams gone by.
Okay, so
It's kind of the same level.
That was good, Andy. That was good.
So I've been an escort since I was 17. I came from a poor and neglectful family, and I just wanted to feel loved and taken care of. Luckily, I found a woman who ran an agency that cared about my safety and treated me better than any of my family ever did. I put myself through college. I'm saving up for a house. I have 3 retirement plans. I pay taxes legally through my business, quotations, and I have a relatively normal and happy life. I still lie about what work I do. Nothing can compare to making the amount of money I make without sacrificing years of my life to be poor, like many of my peers.
So this is actually very topical because there's a lot of people, young people now, who have made a lot of money in the OnlyFans world or porn.
A lot of money.
I wonder how much that will be the secret, or it will be just something that
Like
they tell their
normalized,
family.
yeah.
Like as they move into a more adult, fulfilled life.
Yeah. I think that we're at a point in society where it's not as stigmatized to do sex work.
But I mean, there's still
But it
like
still
people.
is.
It still is.
With
because
it,
people
yeah.
are still losing their jobs when they find out that
For
they
real?
have a second.
Oh yeah, like
Job on
athletes
OnlyFans.
get dropped from teams when they find out they have an OnlyFans.
Really?
Teachers,
There's morals clauses in a lot of employment arrangements. Where,
firefighters.
like if Nick had an OnlyFans,
I'd be in trouble.
Oh.
I will say this: there was a story.
I don't have an OnlyFans.
I will say this:
no,
there was
he's on Fans Only. It's a different site.
I saw OnlyVans, the guy that drives around in a van and he does like cleaning. Anyway, so
I feel like that could
Only
look a little
Flans
like.
is all baking.
Wait, only what?
Only Flans.
Ooh, that could also be only pans.
Yeah.
There you go. But I did hear this story about a woman who she was a mom and she had her OnlyFans. She advertised her OnlyFans on her car.
Oh my god!
So she had a sticker on the back that
That's
would tell you
incredible.
where to find her on OnlyFans and her name and everything. And she was dropping her kids off at school, and another kid looked it up on his phone.
Oh no!
Oh jeez.
And so that kid got.
But how would did the kid pay to get access?
You don't have to.
You don't technically have to go to OnlyFans to see if that account exists. It's only if you want to look at the stuff.
No, so he didn't look at the contents.
No.
He just verified it was
But
real.
he went on OnlyFans to see what it was.
He paid. He wanted to see what was in it. He wanted to peek behind the curtain.
Right,
years old.
exactly.
Kids are doing porn earlier these days.
So I ran in a high school track meet once while wearing a tampon.
Oh.
The entire tampon. Plastic tube and
no.
all. I was so confused about how these were in popular use because, wow, what a pain in the ass I was trying to keep that little extendable plastic stick from falling out. I wondered, why do people like using these things? Edit, I have a deep regret about the word choice of pain in the ass in this post.
I was gonna say.
Okay, so I'm a guy. I don't necessarily know how a tampon works.
I do.
Okay.
Not because I've had a girlfriend, but just general curiosity. I thought when I was younger with the pads that the blue liquid was what came out of women. Because
wings.
yeah, always with wings. Do you remember they would take the blue liquid and they would pour it on it and it wouldn't go out? I thought that's what women were giving the sanitary napkins.
Oh my god!
And it wasn't until I was an adult, and the only reason why
it only came out if you were riding a horse.
Right? Oh my god! The only reason why is because I have girlfriends, not girlfriends, but friends who are women, and they obviously do that, and I dated a guy who was almost an OBGYN, at Planned Parenthood, so that was conversations
so
too.
the plastic part is just the injector.
It's the insertion thing,
right?
Yep.
So you put that in there,
and then you have the little string, and then it dangles out.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
So you always have
never know.
a string dangling out.
Yeah.
That's to pull it back out when it's done,
it's
right?
the tea bag.
Yep. And that sometimes it sometimes gets
Vampire
disconnected,
tea bag.
and you have to go in. Otherwise, you'll get toxic shock.
So I know someone who on
Did he get
vacation
stuck?
was getting this really bad pain, abdominal pain, and they did not realize that they still had a tampon in that was there for more than a few days. And,
Yeah.
And it had started.
Oh my god! How do you forget that you have a tampon in?
I don't know.
I don't know.
But I mean, I guess I took the wrong bag of medicine, so I can't really contribute.
I've heard stories of girls in college that would obviously be on their period and they would have a tampon in, and then they would go partying and they would forget, and then they would have sex, and that would be while the tampon's in, and then they didn't know, and they would put another one in, and they would have to go to the ER to get it all fixed out. Obviously, this is not. If you're squeamish,
That's like a traffic jam. It's
Right.
congestion up in here.
But it's kind of look, just because there's room doesn't mean you got to fill it.
I'd be like, there's no room at the inn, Mary.
For real.
Mary, did you know?
For real. Oh, okay. So, I think this will maybe be my last one. But this says, when I was 14, I found a letter in my house that said my parents weren't my parents. They were my grandparents. My older sister was my biological mom. The letter didn't mention my dad. My mom/grandma was super abusive, so I didn't tell her that I found the letter until about a year later, and when she told me I wasn't allowed to see my sister anymore. I asked if it was because she was my mom, and my mom/grandma said yes, but we're never going to tell you because it ruined our family.
Oh my god,
that's harsh.
But that shit's crazy. You're my sister, but you're actually my mom.
That's very Flowers in the Attic kind of feeling.
The pain of it, the fact that there was so much anger and hostility around it, had to affect how you were raised.
Right.
Too.
Well, but that, I'm because so that must have been the sister must have been very young, or the mom must have been young when she had the baby, I'm guessing. But I would be you're my fucking sister?
Well, and not only that, but okay, so now she comes from a religious background, has to be, because she wasn't allowed to get an abortion.
100%.
And she had to keep the child.
Yep.
So now
Maybe she was just living in a state where abortions are illegal.
I know, right?
Exactly. I mean, pick one, right?
So my next one is not it's very light, and I like it's a very happy one. So,
let's have a lighthearted one.
Well, let's end on the light note.
So sometimes I get up in the morning, shower, get ready, and then get back into bed and pretend to be sleeping just so my daughter can run into our room and wake me up. Aww. She's 7 and still loves waking me up in the morning to get my day started by seeing her face first.
That's super cute.
I know. And then there's another cute one. I've been secretly trying to make my daughter's first word mama because I know it will make my wife unimaginably happy. She's doing well with the coaching, so I think I've got a shot.
Aww, with the coaching.
I know.
Those are like good things.
This one's funny. A friend has a huge, very visible tattoo in her forearm, almost wrist to elbow, that she designed and is very proud of. It's misspelled.
Oh, no.
All right. My mother collects decorative elephants. I write porn for a living.
Oh.
I will never tell her that the Christmas present she got from me one year, the pride of her collection, was the result of me putting out a particularly filthy story that sold a lot better than I was expecting. I definitely won't tell her that I have been mentally referring to it as the bukkake-derm this whole time. And then I'm a pachyderm, a bukkake-derm.
Oh my god.
So, and then the last one is, sometimes I tighten jar lids and ask my husband to help me open them. Oh. Or I'll push something just out of my reach if it's on a high shelf, then ask him to grab it for me. I love when he helps me, and I know he loves to do small things for me.
Oh, that's cute. That's innocent.
Those are some nice secrets.
I can get on board with that one.
Yeah, exactly. This one was actually... Okay, I have one more because this one was freaky. This is my last one. That sometimes while I was asleep, I'd wake to her petting my hair and telling me that she loved me. She said it in such a loving, quiet voice that it felt almost like a secret. In those moments, I had never felt so loved. I'd pretend to be still asleep while fading back into it so she wouldn't get embarrassed. We broke up later, but I still cherish those moments. Girl... She wanted to wear your skin. Okay?
She did.
Like that is like some freaky stuff. Like I would.
You guys don't pet each other when you sleep?
If I woke up and Andy was like, "I love you. You're so pretty. You're so gorgeous."
I'm gonna do that to you.
That would be
absolutely
extreme.
I would freak the fuck out. I'd fall out of bed like, "What the fuck?"
Do you guys ever wake up like? Or like one of you wakes up, but then you see the other one waking up and you're like, oh my god. Or like you wake up at the same time and you're like, were you staring at me?
Never really.
I don't think so.
No.
Like I've woken up and he's already awake and I'll look at him like, stop.
I'm just looking.
He's so pretty.
You're so pretty.
You're so pretty when you sleep.
Exactly. I know,
pretty.
right? That is
So
weird.
beautiful.
Why are you so obsessed with me?
Oh, come on, Mariah.
Well, that was kind of fun.
It was a fun topic.
Yeah, it's like so many things out there, but it's like I told Andy, like when I was looking this up, I was like, there was a recurring theme of like,
yeah,
I didn't know I had this like brother or sister,
right.
or my parents got divorced or something like that, you know.
So, or like secret
relative.
relative.
At the end of the day, everyone has those secrets,
right?
You know, there's no.
And it's up to you who you want to tell and what you want to tell and when you want to tell it.
It's your life, and you can be the narrator.
Exactly.
And if you don't, just go on an anonymous. If you want to get off your chest, just go on an anonymous account.
Create a
Reddit
burner
post,
account.
yeah.
There you go.
And then Andy, you had a I Spy.
So my I Spy this week is about people who in the grocery store drive their cart down the middle of the aisle and then go off and shop and stuff, and they leave their cart right in the middle.
Oh
so no one
my
can pass.
god! And then you hit them with your cart, right?
Well,
Why is it always so aggressive?
Because they're dumbasses. Listen, move it to the side,
It's a contest
Rhonda.
to see how long it takes for them to recognize that they're blocking everyone's way.
Ugh.
Again, these are the kind of things that, like, every interaction when you're in a public place, when you're walking around, you have to treat it like you're driving your car.
Yes.
One side is to go one direction, the other side is to go the other direction. You have to remember that.
I hate when that happens at the grocery store because, like, you can't move, and then you're like, are you blind?
Well, and then not only that, but, like, it's already a tight space as it is.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
And it's just, so.
Listen, I'm all for ramming people with my cart. So they'll get out the way.
I just said I moved the cart over.
No, I'm thinking I would just sit there and be like, give them the look and be like, "Are you done?"
This is why Joe doesn't take a cart when you go grocery shopping.
No, I don't take a cart. I do the little hand basket. And
That's it.
I'm gonna start taking my weekends with Adele bag.
Yes. Well, yeah. I mean, that's like a Santa's bag. You could carry everything.
We were at the farmer's market earlier, and I was like, "You need your Adele bag." Yeah.
Did you get everything from every stand?
I was like, hello.
Hello, it's me.
All right, everyone. Have a great week.
Special thanks to Andrew Smith and Nick Stone for producing the show. If you like us, please follow us at tugayspod on Instagram and visit us online at tugayspod.com. You can find us anywhere you can stream podcasts. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and let us know topics you'd like to hear. And always remember, stay safe, stay classy, stay sassy, and always stay a little bit trashy. See you next week.